Yifan Chu, a demon king, possesses a very sacred scroll of the abyss. This scroll has the power to rule the heavens and the earth, and can also allow anyone to push beyond their limits. Cheng Chu, Yifan's top disciple, runs to Yifan Chu and reports that their force field guarding their mountains has been eradicated, and their enemies will reach them anytime soon. He continues by saying that their enemies are the 7 kings. Yifan tells Cheng to stop panicking because the 7 kings are no match for him. Yifan wonders how the 7 kings managed to break through his force field, as he thought they couldn't manage to break it. He tells Cheng to go with him to face the 7 kings. The soldiers outside his rear command Yifan to hand over the sacred scroll of the abyss. Yifan asks them how they dare to command him. Yifan attacks and kills them all. The King of Swords commands Yifan to give up the scroll and promises to spare his life. Yifan tells him that he is considered the most powerful of all the 7 kings, and he will kill all of them if they come at him. Cheng stabs Yifan through his heart from the back. Yifan cries out, asking why Cheng has betrayed him. Cheng says Yifan didn't let him peek at the scroll, so he has adapted to the situation. Yifan says that no one will take the scroll, even if it means destroying it. Yifan puts himself into self-destruction. Yifan wakes up in the body of another person in the jungle, a man who knew the new body of Yifan, as Yan Zhu calls him. Yifan looks at the man and sees an opportunity to recharge himself using the man's chi by absorbing the man's power to become his own. Yifan promises to go back for the 7 kings and Cheng for them. In the jungle, he comes across a family in conflict with the manager of the same family. Yifan's new body reacts differently and brings memories that are not his. Yifan complains that his heart is hurting. He asks himself what just happened, if maybe it's the effect of his training. He wonders if his magic is not suitable for cultivation in his body. He checks himself and sees that everything is normal. He realizes that after seeing Miss Lao's expression, all the pain disappears. He forces himself to go and do something for the Lao family. Yifan decides to go inside the memory of the kid's body he is in. He learns that the kid has a long history with the Lao family, and they have raised him since he was a child, and they consider him as their own. The Lao family look at the kid as their own because his father sacrificed himself for the Lao family. Commander Peng trained him in basic skills in combat, and he made a vow to protect Miss Lao and the whole family. Yifan worries that he now has to serve the Lao family for the rest of his life, and never violates them because the body will automatically trigger a heart magic. Yifan goes to help the Lao family. Miss Lao asks if there is someone to help them. Commander Peng says there is no way they can come so quickly. Yifan asks Miss Lao what's wrong with just handing over the spiritual martial arts. He says he doesn't want to lose her life because it would be a huge loss to the Lao family. Everyone is surprised to see Fan Chu. Miss Lao asks Sun Guanjia, their rival, who used to be the manager of the Lao house, to spare the life of Fan Chu. Sun Guanjia orders one of his men to kill Fan Chu. Everyone is surprised to see Fan Chu killing Sun Guanjia's strong men without difficulties or struggle. Yifan, who is now Fan Chu because of the body he is in, grabs Miss Lao and the other little girl and runs away with them. Sun Guanjia is furious and orders his men to go after them. Commander Peng tells his men to make sure Sun Guanjia's men don't find a way to get through. Miss Lao shouted to Chu Fan to let her go. Her little brother also shouted at Chu Fan to put them down and called him a dog slave. Miss Lao complained that she couldn't let the Lao guards be slaughtered in the hands of Sun Guanjia. Chu Fan dropped them and told them to go back if they wanted to get killed, or stay with him if they wanted to stay alive and kill Sun Guanjia. Miss Lao asked how Chu Fan would manage to kill Sun Guanjia and his powerful men. Miss Lao told Chu Fan to go with her young brother while she diverted the enemies. Chu Fan refused and told her he wasn't familiar with the terrain of the site, and that if she didn't come along, it would be difficult for him to look after the child. Chu Fan told Miss Lao that going back was the same as dying, so she must take care of her life, as it was valuable because many people had died to save her. Miss Lao gave Chu Fan her ring to go and clear the fog. She was worried that Chu Fan had changed. Chu Fan came back to Miss Lao and told her he would teach her magic. so she could be able to stand and fight the bandits when they showed up. Miss Lao wondered how a slave managed to set the array formation so casually. Commander Peng was captured by Sun Guanjia. He told Sun Guanjia to kill him right away, otherwise he would kill him and avenge those who had died. Sun Guanjia told Peng that keeping him as a hostage as his name would help him fulfill his request. Commander Peng told Sun Guanjia that he couldn't use him to threaten Miss Lao. Sun Guanjia and his men saw someone sitting under a tree. They drew closer and saw it was Chu Fan. Chu Fan told them he had been waiting for them for a long time. Sun Guanjia told Chu Fan that he was brave to stand before him and ordered his men to catch and kill him. One of Sun Guanjia's men rushed to kill Chu Fan. He made his first throw of his blade, but Chu Fan told him that Miss Lao and her young brother had been paralyzed, and they are now in his hands. Sun Guanjia told his men to stop from killing Chu Fan. Chu Fan told Sun Guanjia to make a deal with him. When Sun Guanjia asked what deal, Chu Fan told him he would hand over Miss Lao and her young brother to him, if he guaranteed a future for him. Commander Peng was furious to hear what Chu Fan was proposing to Sun Guanjia. Sun Guanjia asked Chu Fan why he had decided to betray the Lao family. Chu Fan asked Sun Guanjia the same question. Chu Fan told Sun Guanjia that with one person's life, he would be able to make a family of his own, and people would not continue to destroy their lives, since the family of Lao had been defeated. Chu Fan showed Sun Guanjia a red rope he claimed to have tied the two at the end of it. He continued to say he was using the red rope to track them easily, and that it should be easy for them to find their way back from the mist forest. Sun Guanjia believed Chu Fan and agreed to the deal. He told Chu Fan to lead the way. As they arrived at the spot, Chu Fan turned on Sun Guanjia and told him he brought him there to kill him. Sun Guanjia was angry and attempted to kill Chu Fan, but Chu Fan disappeared along with Commander Peng. Sun Guanjia cried out and asked himself how he let Chu Fan fool him. Miss Lao asked Chu Fan what he would do next. Chu Fan told her he was going to help her kill Sun Guanjia. With the help of Chu Fan, Miss Lao released a monster that killed Sun Guanjia and all of his men. As Sun Guanjia died, he asked Chu Fan who he was exactly. Chu Fan told him to go to hell and ask the Hell King. Chu Fan found an opportunity to upgrade his level of power through the death of Sun Guanjia and his men. Chu Fan reached a spectacularly powerful level. He talked to himself that since now he had made a breakthrough, he should train martial arts. Miss Lao called his name and asked him why the array had lost control all of a sudden. Chu Fan told her that it was probably because the Linshin was too small, so the array became defective and then went out of control. Chu Fan confirmed to Miss Lao that Sun Guanjia and all his men were dead. Commander Peng apologized to Chu Fan for cursing him, and all along because he didn't know he was setting a trap for Sun Guanjia and his men. He told Chu to punish him however he wanted, and he wouldn't do anything, even if he had to cut off his head. Chu Fan told Commander Peng he was only a servant and had no right to punish a commander of the Lao family. Chu Fan asked Miss Lao what her next plan was, now that Sun Guanjia was dead and all threats were eliminated. Commander Peng answered that now they would go to Feng Kai family city to get Miss Lao married to the son of the Kai family leader. Chu Fan thought that helping Miss Lao get to Feng Kai city and get her married to the son of the Kai family leader would help him to be free, so he agreed to go there with them. A report was delivered to Xiao's Hai that Sun Guanjia had failed his task, and now Miss Lao and her apprentices were in the city of Feng. Xiao's Hai told the man to keep monitoring them. Xiao's Hai told his master, who was lying on his bed, that once he possessed the Palm of Returning Dragon, he would send his master and his brothers to reunite. Xiao Fan and the others had arrived in the city of Feng. Xiao Fan asked Miss Lao if they could meet the Feng Kai family right away. They told him only Miss Lao and her brother were allowed to go there. In the city, Chu Fan came across a woman arguing with a man who was selling jade. The woman claimed the man was selling a fake jade. Xiao Fan agreed with her and vowed to prove to the seller that he was indeed selling fake jade. Commander Peng joined and watched the situation. Xiao Fan told the man to soak his jade in a liquid of sulfur and sediment. The man agreed. The jade started fading after being soaked in the water. Chow Fan told the man to admit to the lady that the jade was fake. People who had once purchased jade from the man started stoning and beating him up, forcing him to pay them back. The man was angered and swore to deal with Chu Fan the first chance he got. Chu Fan asked the woman if she wanted to purchase the jade. She replied that she just wanted to tell everyone that the jade was fake. Commander Peng said she was a strange woman. Chu Fan asked Commander Peng to borrow 10 spiritual stones and told him to go back to the inn. Commander Peng gave 10 spiritual stones to Chu Fan. Chu Fan left Commander Peng to look for the man who was selling the fake jade. The jade seller stopped Chu Fan. Chu Fan told him he was looking for him so he could buy the jade from him. The jade seller denied Chu Fan's offer and swore to kill him for ruining his business and getting him beaten by his own customers. The jade seller called his men to kill Chu Fan. Chu tried to reason with him that he was only doing business with him, but he still demanded Chu Fan's life. Chu Fan summoned his magic and killed all of them without mercy. He then took the jade and headed to the inn where Commander Peng was. Chu Fan told Peng to guard the door and let no one in. Chu started experimenting on the stone and admitted it was just as expected it to be, the fairy blood, a very rare stone. Chu Fan tells him that for someone to practice the bloody baby, they must drip their fresh blood on it. He cuts his hand and starts dripping blood on it. He starts feeling dizzy after losing a lot of blood and tells himself to stop. But he's worried because once you start dripping blood on it, you cannot stop until the process is finished. Chu Fan tells himself that it's not good because he is endangering himself, but also asks himself if he should really give up. He finally gets the bloody baby and finishes his practice. Chu Fan goes out and finds Commander Peng still watching over the door. Chu Fan asks Commander Peng if he has been guarding the door for 10 days. Commander Peng tells Chu Fan that he did not want anybody to disturb his business in the house, so he was guarding the door for him. Commander tells Chu Fan that they have to go because Miss Lao has been waiting for them and they cannot wait anymore. Chu Fan asks Commander Peng if he is not wondering what he has been doing for 10 days. Commander Peng tells him it is his business and he will tell him when he's ready. Chu Fan admires Commander Peng's loyalty and trust. Commander Peng and Chu Fan are stopped by a guard from entering the Kai family's compound. Peng introduces themselves and tells them they are expected by the Lao family. Peng and Chu are furious to learn that the Kai family hasn't treated Miss Lao and her young brother well, and that the son of the Kai family is calling off the marriage. Miss Lao calls Xiao Ting-jae, the son of the Kai family, who she is expected to marry, but finds him flirting with another woman. Xiao Ting-jae rejects Miss Lao, saying that he loves another woman, Yu Fei. Yu Fei slaps Miss Lao for trying to persuade Xiao Tin to marry her. Chow Fan shows up and slaps Xiao Jin for mistreating Miss Lao. Chow Fan asks them how dare they mess with Miss Lao. Xiao asks Chu Fan who he is, thinking Chu Fan is of age, but wondering how incredible his speed is. He wonders how they could not react at the same time after he gave them 2 direct slaps. Chu Fan wonders how it irritates him to see a young girl being bullied when he had seen all the sufferings in the world. He then understands it has to do with something with the real Chu Fan, the owner of the body he's in. He worries that it seems like he's going to suffer a long time dealing with the Lao family's issues. Chu Fan tells Miss Lao that they should get going. Yu Fei stops them and asks how dare they just walk in after slapping them. Miss Lao asks what they want. Yu Fei tells her that they should kneel 3 times. Then she will let them go, especially Chu Fan. Zhao Tin and Yu Fei threaten to kill Miss Lao's young brother if she does not kneel. This upsets Chu Fan, and he runs straight at them and starts beating Xiao Qin and Yu Fei. Zhao's father shows up and asks who dares to disturb the Kai family. Zhao tells his father that Chu Fan is the one causing trouble. Chu Fan looks at Zhao's father and realizes he's at the 8th layer of the profound realm. Zhao's father is surprised to realize that Chu Fan can see his level of cultivation in one glance. He compliments Chu Fan on having a good eye. Yu Fei tells Kai to punish Miss Lao and her apprentices. Kai tells Miss Lao that he has been kind to her and her brother, and if she doesn't pay back the kindness, she will cause problems for him. Kai tells Chu Fan and Miss Lao that he will not be compassionate to them because they have made a fuss. He tells them they only have 2 choices, fight or die. Chu Fan attacks Kai, and Kai dodges Chu's attacks. He's lucky to have survived his first attack. Chu and Miss Lao with others leave the place after Chu threatens to kill Zhao Qin because he's under his magic possession. After leaving the Kai compound, Chu Fan asks Miss Lao if she knows about the Seven Empire family. Miss Lao is surprised and asks Chu Fan how he knows about the Seven Empire family. She starts explaining that in the past they were in Guanyongzhuang, and they had nothing to do with them. But now they live in line, and they must avoid the Seven Empire family at all costs, even if it's one of their dogs. Commander Peng asks if there is anyone who can match the Empire family in the land. Miss Lao admits that the Seven Empire family is untouchable. No one can do anything to them, and everyone knows about that very well. Chao Fan asks if the Sun family is included in the Seven Empire family. Miss Lao asks why he asks about that. He tells her he heard the woman saying that they will feel the strength of the Seven Empire family. Commander Peng asks how they let themselves offend the Seven Empire family. Miss Lao grabs Xu Chen by the hand and tells him they should go back and apologize to Sun. Chu tells them the only thing that's waiting for them there is death. Chu tells them tomorrow they will go to the Qianlong Pavilion family to form an alliance. At the Pavilion Palace, Commanders Peng and Xu Fan meet again with a lady that was arguing with a jade seller. She introduces herself to them and tells them her name is Long Nui. Chu Fan introduces himself to her and the rest of his crew. Long Nui asks Chu Fan what brings him there. He tells her he has something to sell her. Chu Fan and Long Nui are discussing the thing that Chu Fan has shown her. Miss Lao is asking Peng why Long Nui is so serious about something that Chu Fan was drawing last night. Long Nui offers Chu 100,000 spiritual stones for his drawing. Commander Peng and Miss Lao are surprised to hear the worth of the drawing. Chu thinks the price is too little and tells Long Nui he won't sell it to her. Chu attempts to call off the business because Long Nui is not being sincere. Long tells him that it is just a sketch of a first-level formation array, so 100,000 is enough. She tells him that, after all, it is drawn by hand, so the price is enough for it. Chu tells her that she should return the drawing to him because the offer is too low. Long Nui says she will pay 300,000. Chu tells her she's still not being sincere, so she must return the image to him. Long speaks to herself that she needs to get the image, even if it means she loses a lot of money. Long tries to persuade Miss Lao to plead with Chu to sell the image to her for 300,000. Chu tells Miss Lao to be quiet after she tries to persuade him to sell the drawing at 300,000 to Long, so that they can have a VIP seat whenever they come to the Pavilion Palace. Long Nui gives back the image to Chu Fan after he refuses to sell it at 300,000. Chu tells Long Nui to call the leader of the Qianlong Pavilion family so that he can negotiate with him. The leader of the pavilion comes and is greeted with respect by Miss Lao, who calls him Master Jiu. Master Jiu starts negotiating with Chao about the image. Jiu asks Chu if he can give him 1.8 million for the drawing. Everyone is surprised except for Chu, who still thinks the price is too low. Jiu tells Chu that even though he understands the price is too low, indeed, that's the price he can afford. Chu Fan says they'd better cancel the transaction if they cannot manage to pay higher than that. Jiu warns Chu and tries to cause havoc. Chu tells him that if he does that, he will damage his reputation. Chu tells Jiu his price is 10 million, and he will collect 1 million, and they will need protection. That's how the other debt will be collected. Jiu agrees to the deal and tells Long Nui to give them 1 million and the men to protect them. Commander Peng opens the door where Chu is meditating. He tells him that Sun's family has surrounded them. Chu tells him that the person he has been waiting for has finally come. Peng asks why he's so calm. He answers because he has been waiting for them. Chu tells Peng to call Miss Lao and her young brother. Yu Fei calls out the Lao family to come out. She tells them they were arrogant yesterday. Miss Lao asks Yu Fei what's the problem for her to bring so many people to their residence today. Yu Fei tells her that she hasn't forgotten what they did to her yesterday in the Kai's palace, and he promises to destroy the whole Lao family. Yu Fei starts to rush to attack the Lao family, but her cousin stops her and tells her Miss Lao to forgive her for being rude. He tells her they do not want to do anything to them except for her butler, Chu Fan. Miss Lao tells Yu Fei's cousin that Chu Fan belongs to her family and he has something special with her. so there is no way they would hurt him. Zhai-Chia Yuquan, Yufei's cousin, tells them that if they knew his identity, they wouldn't dare fight him. Chu Fan challenges Zhai-Chia Yuquan to fight. Zhai-Chia says it would bring shame to the Yungming Valley if he loses to Chu. Chu and Zhai-Chia fight. Zhai-Chia realizes that Shu is no ordinary fighter. Yufei warns Zhai-Chia to be careful because Shu injured Kai yesterday. Zhai-Chia realizes that he's in trouble because he didn't expect to meet someone as strong as Chu Fan. Zhai-Chia recognizes that he's fighting with a demon cultivator who always is pursuing power to be greater. Zhai-Chia injures Shu so badly and seals him so that he cannot fight back again. Yufei tells Zhai-Chia to finish off Chu Fan, but Chu gathers his strength and attacks back at Zhai-Chia and injures him. Surprisingly, Chu fights back and Zhai-Chia wonders how. Even though he is also badly injured, Zhai-Chia tries to finish off Shu, but Miss Lao blocks him. Zhai-Chia attacks Chu Fan and shouts at him to die. Zhai-Chia is still persistent in ending Chu's life. He tries to kill Chu again, but someone grabs his hand and stops him. He looks at him and sees it's Long Ji, Master Jiu's nephew. Long Ji asks Zhai-Chia if he's not tired of killing people since he's been killing people everywhere. Zhai-Chia warns Long Ji not to interfere because it's none of his business. Long Ji tells Zhai-Chia that he was assigned to protect the Lao family by his uncle, Master Jiu, so if he wants to kill them, he must pass through him. Zhai-Chia warns Long Ji that he must not forget they are of the same power, so he cannot protect the Lao family from him. Long Ji tells Zhai-Chia that he is badly wounded, and if they have to fight, Zhai-Chia will surely get killed. As Long Ji and Zhai-Chia are arguing, Chu gathers his strength and traps Zhai-Chia and Long Ji in a strange dimension. Chu Fan attacks Zhai-Chia and kills him. Chu tells Long Ji to convey a message to Master Jiu that they don't need anyone else to protect them. Jiu cries that Chu killing Zhai-Chia has ruined his family plans. Long Nui asks Jiu what's the connection between Chu killing Zhai-Chia and the Pavilion family. Jiu explains that the presence of Long Ji has messed up everything because everyone will think it was Long Ji that has killed Zhai-Chia, and all along that was what Chu planned. Long Ji agrees that everything will indeed fall on their plate because no one will be that person coming from a small family, like the Lao family would dare kill anyone who is from the Seven Empire family. Jiu believes that Chu planned to cause enmity between the Pavilion family and the Yongming Valley. Jiu says that they will still protect the Lao family until the end because he has to honor his deal with Chu, or else it would damage the image of the Pavilion family. Chu meditates and regrets underrating Zhai-Chia, who almost killed him. He vows to be stronger because the next person he will be facing will be more dangerous. As Chen attempts to end Fan's life, he is stopped by Ji. He tells him nobody needs to die, so he should stop. But he insists it is not his business to intervene in the matter. He says Uncle Jiu has ordered him to protect the Lao family, so he will have to go through him first if he insists on killing Fan. He wonders why the Hidden Dragon Pavilion will do this. He reminds him of the equal power they have and questions how he will be able to protect all four of them. Ji reminds him as well that he should not think he is a match for him with his current injuries. He acknowledges the fact that Chen is a master of demonic arts. Because of that, he has the ability to exceed his power level in a crunch. But he feels if they both engage in all-out combat, it will only mean war between their two families. He asked him if he could handle the weight of that responsibility. Chen knows Spectral Valley and Hidden Dragon Pavilion have led plenty of friction between them, and war is inevitable. But he feels now is not the time. He realizes if he is responsible for ruining the family plan, then things will be awkward for him. Suddenly, he is struck from behind. Shockingly, it was Fan who did it. Fan asks him if his master ever taught him that when battling another demonic arts practitioner, hesitation equals death. He was shocked to see it was Fan, who was on the verge of death, that struck him. He is confused about where he got the surge of power all of a sudden. He had become faster and stronger than when they started fighting. Then he realizes it was a trap all along. He stretches his hand to Ji to save him. His cousin could not handle the shock, so she fainted. Fan thanked Ji for his help and asked him to deliver a message to Master Jiu. He tells him to tell Master Jiu that there is no need to send anybody anymore, while he exits the scene. At the Hidden Dragon Pavilion, Master Jiu could not believe what happened. He could not believe he could be tricked by Fan into jeopardizing the family plans. Kui seems not to understand Master Jiu's worries, since Fan was the one that killed Chan. She wonders what that has to do with them, but Master Jiu makes it clear that Ji was at the scene. He intervened and many people witnessed it. Since Fan killed Chan right in front of Ji, he asked her whom she thinks they would hold responsible. Apparently to her, the Lao family, of course. Instantly, Ji asks her if she believes that someone from a small family has the guts to kill a disciple from the Imperial Seven, but she was quiet. He asked her if she didn't even believe it, how she expected Spectral Valley and the Sun family to. He said they would surely place the blame on them. Master Jiu feels that he didn't just plot against Chan, but against Hidden Dragon Pavilion and Spectral Valley. He says with the two families fighting, the Lao family can take the opportunity to get away. Kui wonders how he's not afraid of provoking the two of the imperial families. Master Jiu said if they attacked the Lao family or ignored them, they would yield to Spectral Valley, dishonoring their name. They have no choice but to defend the Lao family no matter what. Inside the Prosperity Inn, Fan is furious with himself for being too weak. He feels the need to get stronger if he wants to protect the Lao family, as well as himself, and he has to do it fast. At the Kai Manor, a man is attacked by Fan's Bloodborn, whose intention is to destroy the Kai family. At Kai Manor, Fan sends his Bloodborn for a demonic execution. His heart vessels were damaged in his fighting against Chan. He needs the Bloodborn to heal him, and the Kai family is the perfect prey. Suddenly, he feels the aura of a master of demonic arts. He sees Patriarch Jian and Master Sun visiting Kai Manor. They gather to discuss the issue of Chan's murder and Hidden Dragon Valley's involvement. Jian thinks Hidden Dragon Pavilion used the Lao family as a cover to kill his disciple, but he wonders for what purpose. Fan overhears their conversation through his Bloodborn. He is certain the 7 imperial families would rather assume that there is some sort of scheme behind the whole incident, because of their ego than believing in the facts. The same goes for Hidden Dragon Pavilion, who would rather take the blame than show any signs of weakness. Jian wants Master Kai to investigate the Hidden Dragon Pavilion. He wished to know what they were after. Master Kai hesitated and said they don't have that kind of clout. He wonders why Jian is trying to drag his little family into a conflict between the Imperial Seven. He wants them to attack the Lao family, to see the reaction of the Hidden Dragon Pavilion. Master Kai was shocked to hear whom they were attacking. He feels asking him to attack the Lao family means provoking the Hidden Dragon. He wonders why he didn't go himself to fight the Lao family, since the Sun family has close ties to Spectral Valley. He tells Jian Fan cast some evil spell on his son a few days ago, which endangers his life. He is worried he might meet the same fate too if he confronts them. Fan could not believe he came up with that sorry excuse just to get out of the task. The three get into an argument about who will do the task, but Jian concludes he will find someone else to do it. Then they start exchanging their spirit abilities, which makes Fan wonder about what their Spectral Valley is plotting. Jian was asking who he was planning on asking to go up against the Lao family. He told them the person was part of Spectral Valley. He said he was a seed that they had planted for a long time. He is at the Blackwind Mountain. Fan was shocked. He was seen and chased by Patriarch Jian. He realized Jian was fast, so he escaped. They had no idea what they saw, but it was demonic in nature. The Bloodborn entered Fan's body. The Bloodborn was able to make a quick getaway, or it would have been destroyed. He was surprised such a powerful person that was just as strong as Jiu Long was at Kai Manor. The Bloodborn has been his heart vessel since he cultivated it. Like its host, he will die if it gets destroyed. As long as it lives, his life will not be threatened. He continues his training to get stronger, and thanks to the Bloodborn, he is gaining power with ease. Now he has reached Chi Force level 4. Fan bumped into Miss Lao on his way out of the room. He asked why she was at the door. She said she was worried that his injury might get worse, so that's the reason. Pang arrived and was happy to see him. While he talks about Miss Lau, she has already left. Fan's heart beat faster for her and was sure it was the Lau family servant spirit bond acting up. He asked Ping to follow him to the Hidden Dragon Pavilion. He was worried about Miss Lau, but Fan assured him no one would have dared touched him after the incident, unless they wanted to offend the Hidden Dragon Pavilion. Ping was impressed with him, so he followed him. They were welcomed by the guards at the Hidden Dragon Pavilion. The guards apologized for their rudeness and ignorance of how important a guest they were earlier. He warned them not to underestimate him again, and they entered. On their way in, they met Kui. Unexpectedly, she snubbed them and walked out. This attitude shocked Pang and whispered to Fan if they had offended her. Immediately, Fan called her and asked if that's how guests are treated there. Kui wondered if they were guests as he claimed. He called her naive, which made her angry. He tells her she will not survive if she gets upset because she was tricked. He told her Ji was more mature than her, for not saying anything and just left when he realized he had been tricked. He feels it would be difficult to trick him again. Not long after, Master Jiu arrived in their midst. Ji wonders how he is able to stand despite his heart vessels being damaged. He questioned the possibility of his recovery in one night. Master Jiu said if he hadn't investigated his background and knew how young he was, he would have thought he was some 1,000-year-old demon hiding in the shadows of the Lau family. Suddenly, he asked angrily why he had come. He said he was looking for a place to be a sanctuary for the Lau family and asked if they had anything of the sort. Master Jiu wondered why he should help him, but Fan told him it was what they owe them, which would make it easier for him to keep tabs on them. He was shocked to know he had figured out their plan himself. He wonders what he's planning. He has lived for almost 100 years, and he feels he is manipulating like no other. He became upset. Fan told him he knew something they didn't, which made them wonder. He told them of the person Spectral Valley sent. Shockingly, they reacted to it, but Kui told them not to listen to him, that he might be messing with them. They asked for proof. He told them those he saw as proof. This provoked Master Jiu. Jia told him he lost one of his god eyes to Patriarch Jian. Fan was excited to hear there was bad blood between them. He believed them and gave them a courtyard to use. They thanked him and were about to leave when he was asked where he saw Patriarch Jian. He told them. Instantly, Master Jiu sent Jie to deliver a message to the family. Master Jiu vows to kill Patriarch Jian. Fan smiled on his way out when he heard him. The Lau family entered the courtyard and was mesmerized by its view. Fan asked Pang if he would like a brigade like that in the future when the family is rebuilt. In comparison to the guards, he feels he is not stronger, so he would be glad to just be a member and not dare to ask to be their leader. Fan assured him the day would come. Ji and Kui arrived at that moment, and Kui called Fan a liar. She told him not to give Pang false hope of him reaching the base level of their guards. She suggested such a small family like them should not try to set their ambitions high. Fan told her to mind her words and not bully the less fortunate. She continued her insults and eventually called them a pebble on a mountain. Miss Lau was hurt by all she said. Jia persuaded Kui to compose herself. Fan asked for Miss Lau's spirit stones. He flew to the rooftop, which annoyed Kui. He cast a level 3 defensive sigil and a dragon disc formation. Ji and Kui were wondering how he knew the sigil formation that Master Jiu cast. Using the spirit stones to cast a sigil formation, he summoned dragons from beneath the ground. While meditating, Patriarch Jian saw the sigil and wondered if it was Master Jiu casting it. But he feels he doesn't have what it takes to cast such a powerful sigil. On the other hand, Master Jiu saw it and realized it was not his dragon disc formation because he's not as powerful as that. Also, a man from the mountain saw it and wondered what was happening. Fan suddenly made it disappear and ignored Kui's question. He told Miss Lau that he used her spirit stones to raise the level 3 sigil formation to level 5 in order to protect her, but he awaits her punishment for using up all her spirit stones. Ji and Kui were shocked to hear all he said. Ji knows very few people in the entire empire can conjure such a spell, so he wondered if he was a level 5 sigil master for him to cast such a spell with ease. Miss Lau told him he deserves punishment for using so many spirit stones, but she would not reprimand him since it was out of loyalty, so they left. Kui didn't think highly of him for being a level 5 sigil master and wondered why such talent would be with a small family. Master Jiu appeared to them from the sky and questioned what happened there. They both explained everything. He said he used his whole life to practice the spell, but he could barely conjure level 3. He wondered how Fan did it instantaneously. He requests his presence to have a conversation with him. Fan was called and asked to sit. He was asked why he would attach himself to such a small family. Master Jiu asked Fan to join him in Hidden Dragon Pavilion, and he would give him a suitable position. Master Jiu promised Fan the position of honorary patriarch. Jia and Kui were shocked to hear Master Jiu. Kui feels why would such an insolent brat like him take on such a position, but Fan already knew such would happen when he conjured the spell. He feels like someone who would not want to keep such a genius who could conjure such a spell for themselves. He told them he had a few conditions. Firstly, he teased Kui, which got her angry. Then he said his condition is for the Luo family to be protected for life. Master Jiu realized the selflessness in his condition, so he promised him. Master Jiu was making plans for him to be moved to the headquarters when Fan told them he had never accepted their offer. This got Master Jiu annoyed. He told them he would have accepted the offer if Kui had not insulted them earlier. So, confidently, he told them he would make the Luo family stand above the 7 imperial families in 10 years. Then he walked out on them. Master Jiu asked what Kui had said to them, so Ji explained everything. Now he understands why he set to prove her wrong. But he feels what he said is impossible. He feels they are still a force to be reckoned with, so they need to keep them as allies. On his way back to the Luo family, he thought about the offer, but he couldn't forget all of Kui's insults. It annoys him, and he vows to mold the fallen Luo family into the greatest force in the world. As the Demon Emperor, he feels nothing is impossible for him. He arrives, and Miss Luo asks him why he was called. He explained everything to them, and Miss Luo was sarcastically happy for him, thinking he accepted, but he told her he had turned them down. They wondered why, but he left for his room saying no reason. He looked back to tell Miss Luo he was now in charge of the Luo family matters, and none should intervene. He makes himself the lead house manager and vows to lead them to surpass Hidden Dragon Pavilion. Then he left them speechless. At night, he is secretly killing the guards at the Kai Manor through his Bloodborne. Suddenly, he saw someone spying on Hidden Dragon Pavilion, and he followed the person. He figured out it was a woman. He overhears their plan to infiltrate the Hidden Dragon Pavilion, capture Miss Luo, and kill the rest of the Luo family. He was shocked to hear this, but he wondered why she wanted Miss Luo. Fan continued to listen to their conversation. One of the guards asked the lady what the relationship between the young master and Spectral Valley is, and why they would listen to them. He feels even if Spectral Valley would help them, Hidden Dragon Pavilion is still one of the Imperial 7. He feels they will help them when there is no turning back after offending the Hidden Dragon Pavilion. He feared they were as good as dead if they abandoned them. She was pissed because she said it dishonored their old master. She said their lives are worth the sacrifice in order to heal their master's wound and avenge him. Fan understands their mission to avenge their master, but he wonders what the Spectral Valley guards, which one of the lady's guards mentioned, had to do with them. Suddenly, the lady was annoyed at the guards' fear of dying and pessimism to the mission, so she ordered them out of the room. Fan was impressed with how she boosted their morale with just a few words, so he plans to reveal himself. Kui was excited by the lady's authority, but she feels sad about her dad's health. She said if her dad was still healthy, his aura would be much stronger than hers, and no one would dare to defy him on Blackwind Mountain. She hopes to acquire the reverse dragon palm to heal her dad. Suddenly, Fan showed up and asked her how sure she was that would heal the master. They both panicked, but he told them not to, for he had no ill intentions. He told them to follow him for a talk, but they refused and insisted on meeting him. He introduced himself, which made them panic because he is from the Luo family. She attacked him, but was paralyzed by him before she could get any closer. He kidnapped the two of them to his house. He dropped them and freed them. Immediately, he freed her. She attacked him with a knife, but was paralyzed again. He invited them for questioning and promised to release them if they answered honestly. He asked them who they were and what they were doing in Tempest City. She said her name was Yuting Lei, the goddaughter of the master of Blackwind Mountain. They came to wipe out the Lao family. Fan asked about their connection with Spectral Valley, their gain from helping them, and how they contacted them, but she claimed not to know. He threatened to kill her when she refused to answer. Cut immediately begged him in tears. Kui immediately begged him in tears to let her be. Kui confessed that Brother Yang was the only one in contact with them. Fan asked who Brother Yang was. Kui told him his name was Ming Yang. He is the master's top disciple and Yuting Lei's fiancé. She said their master was attacked by Zenan Lao, the head of the Lao family. Some time ago, he was paralyzed and unable to speak. So they ambushed the Lao family then. Fan Chou now understands why they seek revenge, but wants to know more. They didn't stand a chance then, because the Lao family was heavily guarded. But Yang was able to sway the house manager, Ji Sun. That was how they were able to infiltrate and defeat the Lao family, but they were unable to capture Yung Cheng. It was Yang that told them that they were about recently. Fan asked her how sure they were that it was Zenan Lao that attacked them. She said Yang saw it happening, but Fan asked if it was Yang that told them the reverse dragon palm could heal their master, but she was speechless. Suddenly, Miss Lao entered at the moment and was shocked to see all he was doing. He said all he was doing was for the Lao family, but she asked who the women are. She said he was messing around instead of getting stronger to help the Lao family. He told her they were bandits from the Blackwind Mountains, and he was just interrogating them. For that, he had to use threats to make them talk. She was furious to hear they were from Blackwind Mountain, and attacked them about her father's death. Fan stopped her and told her to stay calm. He said the grudge between them is not as simple as it seems. He feels it is possible it was a scheme devised by the 7 imperial families. They are shocked, but he thinks something seems missing. So he asks Miss Lei to take him to Blackwind Mountain to investigate the murder. Miss Lei thought he was trying to infiltrate the Blackwind Mountains, but he said no. He asked Miss Lao to give him the Reverse Dragon Palm manual. He told her it was just a fighting technique which cannot heal her master's wound. He only asked her to take him there for him to find out the truth, whether Yang had been lying to them alone. But Kui claims he is a good man. He said he has the ability to make the Lao house manager, who has been there for decades, betray his family and easily contact the Spectral Valley. He asked Lei how well she knew him. She was dumbfounded. So she agreed to take him to Blackwind Mountain. Fan disguised himself as an old man on their way to the mountains, and they were met by one of Yang's men. He allowed them in, and they met Yang. He is surprised to see Lei. She told Yang his travel was being tracked and the plan is too risky. So she asked the men to stand down for now. Apparently they owe the master a great debt, and they should be willing to make a sacrifice. So Yang wondered why they should back down. She understood all he said, but suddenly he requested to know who the old man is. She said he is an apothecary she found and thinks maybe he can save their master. Instantly, Fan introduced himself. He said he could diagnose anything and cure everything. Yang sees him as a lying geezer. He asked Lei if she didn't believe that only a reverse dragon palm can heal someone struck by it. Fan tries to convince him to give him a chance, but he hits him so hard on the face. He told Yang he shouldn't hit him, being an old man. He told Lei he would turn down her business and regret having dealt with bandits. This engages Yang, and he tries to hit him, but Lei stops him. She said she should be the one to be punished, not him. Since she insisted, he allowed them and would never forgive him if the master's condition got worse. Lei blames Fan for making matters worse. She said Yang cares about the old master so much he would not try to harm him. Fan asked her if her dad ever taught her how to judge people. He tells her not to listen to what she says, but rather watch what he does. He explained to her and made her realize that Yang was not genuine about healing her father. She was speechless to realize the truth in all he said. Fan asked her to take him to see her father, and they both entered. Inside, he checked his father's body and told them he had no external wound. Apparently, they all know that. He said he was not suffering from any internal injuries either. This shocked them and made Lei wonder why her father was paralyzed then. He said something had invaded his body, which made Yang angry. He pushed Fan away and asked Lei if he was hiding something from him. He asked about Kui. She told him she was busy with something. Suddenly he hit her and grabbed Fan. He locked them up because he was suspicious of them. Lei was hurt to know the truth, but Fan told him he had nothing to do with them, so he should let him go. He pretends not to know what's happening, so he tells Yang he only thought the master is weak from lack of exercise, and want to prescribe some laxatives for him. Yang was shocked to hear that and felt he was rash to act. He told the guards to keep an eye on them. Fan told Lei her situation was similar to that of Miss Lau. He told her they would be out when night falls, so she can do whatever she wants, since she had done her part by bringing him in. She feels he is trying to get rid of him, so she confronts him. But he put her to sleep with his power. He called out his Bloodborne and sent it to go and destroy them all. The Bloodborne entered the body of one of the two guards keeping watch on them. The second guard wondered why the prisoner's voice was coming from his body. The Bloodborne tormented him by opening the trap door until it killed him. They joined the second guard as well and did the same to him until he opened the door for them. Fan woke Lei up and asked her to come with him. They both fly out of the trap and saw the second guard begging for his life to be spared. Fan told her he could cure her father, but she would have to answer him henceforth. She asked if he could cure her father. He introduced himself to his father as Fan Zhou, and he was the Lau family house manager. Knowing where he was from, the old master became worried. Fan sent her to the old master to treat him, but he was worried about what he was doing to her father. She is surprised the Bloodborne can treat wounds too, and wonders what it is. He told her it is called a fiend. Demonic arts masters know how to cultivate them. They are critical in offense and defense. He reminded her of how Ming Yang attacked them when he mentioned that something had invaded her father's body. Lei thought he was bluffing. He told her the reason he attacked them was because he hit a nerve. He said the fiend is the reason why her father is paralyzed, so he is using his own fiend to eliminate Yang's. Suddenly, her father spoke and called her name. She felt happy. Immediately, she tries to kill the parasite that came out of her father's body, but Fan stopped her. He prevented her from killing it because it is an extremely rare frost silkworm that lives only in the coldest of waters. He intends to keep it for a personal agenda. She carried her father and they left. On their way, she wondered how all of the men died without a sound. Fan realized he had forgotten the second guard. He thanked him for setting them free and killed him on the spot. This shocked them, but he told them they cannot hesitate there in order not to put their people in Tempest City at risk. When they realized they had escaped, her father admitted he was right and thanked Fan. Lei doubts her collaboration with him, but she feels it is much worse to be his enemy. 2 days later, Kui was happy to see Lei back. Lei asked if they were good for her. She said besides Fan, the rest of the Lau family is nice. Fan asked her if she was sure it was wise to say that to his face. He wondered if that was her impression of him. Lei's father recognized Yung Chang and Yun Hai. He thanked heaven that both Zenen's kids were safe. Yung Chang wondered who he was. Fan told her he was the master of Blackwind Mountain, the leader of the bandits who destroyed Cloud Village. She was enraged to hear that. Lei's father kneels down and takes the blame for everything that happened to the Lau family and asks to be killed. Lei was shocked and wondered if they owed them that much. Yung Chang was stunned. Fan explained all the old man had been through for a long time. He said he had nothing to do with the attack on the Lau family. Yung Chang feels, why didn't he say so earlier? Fan said his poor judgment of character allowed Yang into Blackwind Mountain, which led to the Lau family tragedy. Lei felt bad for his father for being a victim. His father said Zenen was like a brother to him, but he would never forgive himself for what happened. Yun Cheng wondered why her father never mentioned him. He said the Lau family has an honorable reputation, so they could not associate with bandits. They were initially friends when they met before they became brothers, but the fear of ruining the Lau family's name made them interact secretly. Also, the ancestors of the Lei family taught them never to be enemies of the Lau and Kai families. Yung Chang knew about it, but not entirely. She wondered why her father never brought it up. Yun Hai said Grandpa said it was a secret between the men. His words were never to tell the ladies nor outsiders. The sacred tie between them is only known by the head of the household. The old master said it was passed down from masters of each household for generations. But he didn't have a son, so he told no one. Fan asked if the Lei family had a secret martial arts technique. He said they have a low-level spirit tier technique, which unfortunately Yang discovered its scroll and took it. Fan figured out what they were after, so he told them to wait, he would be back. Outside the Hidden Dragon Pavilion, he keeps shouting Master Ju's name. Kui asked him to keep it down, that Master Ju was not meeting any guests, but he insists he has something important to discuss with him. Ji politely asked him to come back later. Suddenly, he asks Kui if she knew where he had been for the past few days, but she didn't care. He told her he was investigating the movements of Spectral Valley. He warned them of the attack coming soon. Kui thinks he is bluffing. He told her to pass the message to Master Ju. He is taking the Lao family to hide elsewhere. He doesn't want to get involved when that happens. Suddenly, Master Ju ordered him to let him in. He wondered what business he had with him and threatened to make him pay if it was not trivial. He told him what Spectral Valley was plotting and asked him if that was not trivial. Master Ju said it is important if it is true. Suddenly, he saw dragons attacking him. For a moment, he thought he was being attacked. He only sensed the aura of the two masters with Master Ju. One is Elder 5, the master of fire techniques, while the other is Elder 3, who was an impenetrable body. He cannot figure out the depth of their powers. He feels they are definitely among the strongest people in the land. He could not believe Hidden Dragon Pavilion had those two backing them. Elder 3 asked if he was truly a level 5 sigil master. He admits to knowing some of it, but is probably not worth bringing up in front of the two masters. Elder 5 feels he is something for trying to have the Lao family surpass the 7 imperial families within 10 years and calling Jui brother. He feels he has a gut. He wonders why he suddenly shrivels when he sees the two of them. He said his encounter with Brother Jiu many times made him know his limits. But this was his first time meeting them. Master Jiu thought he was arrogant with everyone he meets. He feels disrespected, and that he only becomes meek when he sees someone stronger. But Fan said he is just like that because he considers him his friend. But he would be asking for trouble to do the same to a stranger who is spiteful. It would be pure stupidity and not arrogance. They were both impressed with him. They want to recruit him, but they heard he had already refused to join Hidden Dragon Pavilion. They asked him about the arrival of the Spectral Valley people. Fan said he found out half a month ago that there were 2 strong forces that appeared at Sun Manor besides Patriarch Jian, but he is not sure if more people came. Master Ju feels determined to kill each and every one of them if they come. They asked Fan how he knows all of that. He told them he's not inclined to share his technique. Elder 3 asked him who his master is. He told them the ruler of the abyss. They wondered who it is, but Fan knew they would not have an idea about it because they are not from the sacred realm. They would not know anything about the 10 ancient emperors. They assume he must be a remarkable master that produces such young disciples capable of level 5 sigil. Suddenly, he asked Master Ju for recovery pills and he was given them. He advised them to boost their defenses because Spectral Valley will probably make a move in 2 days. They assume his master must be a force with which to be reckoned. They plan to keep him as an ally. Fan gave the pills to the old master to use. Lei saw the worth of the supreme recovery pills. She wondered if the Lao family is wealthy enough to give it away so easily. Yun Cheng assured her of more from the Hidden Dragon Pavilion. Lei wondered how they got richer after they robbed them. In a secret room inside Sun Manor, Patriarch Jian and his men addressed Min Yang. He commends him for being a spy inside Blackwind Mountain for over 10 years. They are worried he left the operation in the hands of Lei. He said it was just a small hiccup, and it will not affect their plan. He was hit and his cheek bleeds. Jian told him he would deal with him if he screwed the plan due to his arrogance. Jian told him they move in 3 days, and they cannot let any of the Lao family escape, especially Fan Zhao. He was ordered not to let whoever take the blood of Spectral Valley live. Fan's energy remains at the peak of level 4, and he cannot push ahead 1. He thought if he had known, he would have absorbed more energy at Blackwind Mountain, but he cannot risk sending the Bloodborne out when the battle is on the horizon. Suddenly he feels a horrifying aura around him. He tracked it and saw Master Jiu in the sky. He knew they were all masters of heavens and Tyr, and the other 2 old men are probably setting up an ambush. The Hidden Dragon Pavilion is ready to fight Spectral Valley to the death, but he is sure the Lao family will be safe. Yung Chang and Peng come out to check what is happening, but Fan quickly asks them to go back in. Patriarch Jian arrived in the sky as well. He told Master Jiu he came to seek justice. Master Jiu wondered what Spectral Valley knows about justice. He accused Patriarch Jian of tricking him and destroying his amethyst eye. Fan was shocked to hear that. He remembers the amethyst eye belonging to one of the strongest 10 ancient emperors. He could not believe such godly power could be found in the human realm. He now understands why Master Jiu's thirst for blood. He makes a plan to get his hands on it, if it is still around. Patriarch Jian told Master Jiu he cannot blame anyone for his own stupidity. He was one of the strongest of Hidden Dragon Pavilion when he had the amethyst eye. He mocked Master Jiu of becoming less powerful, since he lost the eye and he can only defend the borders. This infuriated him, and he engaged him in a battle. Patriarch Jian used Spectral Chain to subdue Master Jiu's dragon. He said he was a fierce dragon with the amethyst eye, but he is just a worm now. This enraged him, and used another technique against him. He now realized Master Jiu really wanted to kill him. He has been surrounded by the two masters while Master Jiu is surrounded by Patriarch Jian's men. They saw the supreme weapon, Proud Dragon Sword, and are afraid to attack him further. Master Jiu told the two masters they must kill Patriarch Jian. Elder 3 launched a huge attack against him. Shockingly, it was Elder 3 spitting blood, instead of Patriarch Jian. Both the other masters and Master Jiu were left in shock and speechless. Patriarch Jian recognized their abilities and reputations. Suddenly, Fan saw a devouring crow fiend on Patriarch Jian's shoulder and figure out it is his fiend. He says it has the ability to consume anything and absorb its characteristics. Its strength is solely dependent on its owner, but he feels it is a waste in Patriarch Jian's hands. He thought of stealing and training it for himself when he realized the lost amethyst eye is on the fiend. He feels heavens are on his side, so he has got a plan. Master Jiu saw the amethyst eye, but could not believe. Patriarch Jian told him he must be finding it hard to believe that his amethyst eye is now imprinted on his demonic fiend. He said he would have to defeat his own god's eye if he wants to kill him. He sent the crow fiend to attack Master Jiu, and it exploded him off the sky. The two masters attacked Patriarch Jian to kill him, so that the crow will have no one to command it, but he immediately commanded the crow fiend, and it attacked them from afar. In the midst of the battle, Fan finds the amethyst eye daunting. He realized the 3-tier masters are powerless against it. He feared they will lose, and the Lao family is doomed. He cannot let that happen, so he sent his Bloodborne to the sky secretly. Patriarch Jian admires the power of the amethyst eye. He told them he would not be fazed if the 3 of them attacked together. They wonder how he thinks a mere fiend and a stolen amethyst eye would really defeat them. Elder 3 told him not to feel so cocky. He asked Elder 5 and Master Jiu to stay put, that he will take Patriarch Jian and his men's heads. He told Patriarch Jian to bear witness to how he got his reputation. He summoned his dragon to attack him while he sent his crow fiend as well. The two engage in a fierce battle. Patriarch Jian realized he is too powerful for the amethyst eye to handle. So they all attacked him together with the spectral chains to subdue the dragon. The 3 of them were able to match Elder 3's power. He said if they didn't have the amethyst eye, none of them would be worthy to challenge him. Patriarch Jian wants to kill Elder 3 with the crow fiend, but Fan got the chance to help them not to lose the battle. He sent his Bloodborne to attack Patriarch Jian from behind. Suddenly, they lost their hold on the dragon. Elder 3 seized as an opportunity, so he attacked them. Patriarch Jian is still wondering whose fiend ambushed him. He wondered when Hidden Dragon Pavilion starts to cultivate fiends, but he realized it belongs to a true demonic arts practitioner. He would be shunned for life if anyone found out, so he concealed it and retreated with his men. The 3 masters went after them. Fan allowed Patriarch Jian to hold the grudge against the Hidden Dragon Pavilion, since they already have plenty of friction between them. He's still concerned about the amethyst eye. There are not many things in the world he wants, but he feels the God's Eye is definitely one of them. He feels it is time for the main event. A set of people attack some other set of people in which the latter group is from Spectral Valley. They remark that they have been expecting them. In the process of charging at each other, they recognize someone amongst them from the Spectral Valley as Brother G. They realize immediately that they are being ambushed. They try to escape but are ambushed and eliminated. However, Spectral Valley is sacrificing a lot of men just to assist the Lei family in pursuing the Lao family. As they charge forward to eliminate every single person, and also to take the reverse dragon palm, they are stopped by someone from the Lao family unexpectedly, who informs them to turn around and leave immediately. He introduces himself as Fan Zhou, the house manager. They are glad that he brings himself to them, as they have been trying to find an avenue to tail him and defeat him. Immediately, an opponent charges at him at the instruction of his boss, but he is beaten by Fan Zhou, who uses a top-tier demonic technique. This surprises them, as they are forced to inquire again if he is from the Lao family. The opponent recognizes him immediately, as he recollects that they had met before and he was in another form, and they have never liked the company of each other. He remarks that he regrets not ending Fan Zhao's life when he had the chance. However, he is unable to do this because Fan Zhao is the only means by which he can get through to Kui. Therefore, ending his life will only be to his detriment. The opponent appears very angry with Fan Zhao for trying to see through him and also annoy him with the words coming out of his mouth. The opponent is exasperated that Fan Zhao sees right through him, and so he charges vehemently at him, trying to end his life. Zhao inquires if he is trying to attack him with the full power of a Spirit Force tier. He remarks that he is not a fool, like Chan Yo, who gave him a chance to retaliate. He charges towards Fan Zhou, but eventually gets himself injured. Fan Zhao deals with him without mercy as he spits out blood from the two corners of his mouth. Fan Zhao tells him that he is strong but still appears useless, and that the fate for the useless is death. A lady interrupts them at this point, which annoys Fan Zhao. The head of the opponent's clan shows up and tells Ming to step back immediately. Ming refuses and tells Patriarch to run and let him eliminate Fan Zhao himself. Patriarch scolds him and tells him that he had always thought of him as someone who is calculating and full of potential. However, he is nothing but a mere insect. He turns to face Fan Zhao, telling him that they will give him the Spectral Valley and also forgive all their transgressions against them. However, things did not go in whatever way he must have planned, as Fan Zhao does not look ready to succumb to his favors and supposed goodwill. Fan Zhao declines, saying he's not interested. Fan Zhao rejects his opponent's proposal of peace. His opponent finds this rather arrogant. He tells him to be humble, as not to get eliminated like the previous ones. Fan Zhao is confused as he thinks Spectral Valley is in need of Black Wind Mountain's help. He does not understand why they eliminated most of them, since they will need their assistance. Patriarch remarks that he should be smart enough to deduce that they have been exposed, and they would rather have them suspect them than leave any traces of evidence behind. Fan Zhao seems confused. However, Patriarch says he will explain things to him only if he joins them. Fan Zhao only laughs loud, saying he sees only Spectral Valley. Patriarch is shocked and asks Zhao if he wishes to die instead. Zhao only makes fun of him, knowing full well that he doesn't have what it takes. He attacks him immediately. However, Fan Zhao blocks the attack. A girl distracts him, which gives an avenue for another attack. This attack is handled by Zhao, who makes use of the technique of maneuvering a level 3 dragon disc formation. His opponent is surprised that he is able to do this at such a young age. However, he attacks him again almost immediately after commending his skills. He insults Zhao, remarking that the power of heaven tier is not something a mere chi force tier brat like him can comprehend. Zhao also attacks him right back, remarking that the power of level 5 sigil sequence is not something an amateur like him can imagine either. He unleashes the first wave, which is slightly harmful. He moves on to the second, third, fourth, and then on to the fifth. This forms the 9 soaring dragon disc formation. His opponent pauses for a while to ask him again if he is ready to join Spectral Valley, but he refuses. The man tries to attack again, but he is severely injured by Zhao. He swears over again to eliminate him at all cost. Patriarch Yun insisted on killing Fan, even if he kneels and begs for mercy. Fan realized he is planning to attack him with a demonic artifact. He quickly asked him if he is not worried about becoming the laughing stock of the Imperial Seven by using a powerful demon artifact against a mere chi force tier opponent. But Patriarch Yun said no one would know since none is left alive. Fan was shocked to hear that. He was hoping that he would make him put the artifact away, but he knows that demonic arts master has no restraint, unlike other martial artists who value their reputations and a fair fight. He thinks that is why nobody got along with the practitioners of demonic arts. He knows there is no honor in demonic arts and considered themselves ruthless. He knows once a fight breaks out, it is always to the death and no compromises. He feels he would do the same if it were up to him. Patriarch Yoon attacked him with a demonic artifact. Fan also sent his dragon as a defense, but the demonic artifact sliced through all the 9 dragons so swiftly. Patriarch Yoon said he cannot get away now. Fan was shocked to see what the demonic artifacts did. He now realized it was a supreme demon artifact. Patriarch Yoon told him he would be the first Chi Force tier victim of the supreme demonic artifact. Fan quickly asks if he can now join Spectral Valley, but he told him it's too late. He launched another attack at him with the supreme demon artifact. Unexpectedly, Yoon Tian-lei of Blackwind Mountain takes the hit for him. He told Patriarch Yoon that whoever attacks the Lao family is his enemy. Fan asked if he has fully recovered. He said he didn't only recover. He thanked Fan for helping him to break through the limit of the heaven tier. So Fan told him to follow his lead and let them defeat Patriarch Yoon. Patriarch Yoon told him teaming up with a doddering heaven tier old man doesn't change anything. Fan told him not to be so sure, that the situation is in their favor now. They continued the battle aggressively. Patriarch Yoon realized Fan's sigil is the biggest threat, so he planned to take him out first. He successfully eliminated the dragon and told Fan he is going down next. But Yoon Tian-lei hit him so hard with a thunderous finger. Fan thanked Yoon Tian for keeping him busy. Suddenly, Fan summoned the true power of the 9 soaring dragon's disc formation to attack Patriarch Yoon. Finally, he was defeated. There was an explosion, and Elder 3 realized there is an even more fierce battle going on over there. He wonders who could possibly manifest such astonishing power. He feels something is happening at the Hidden Dragon Pavilion, so he told everyone to retreat. But Master Ju felt ashamed that he was unable to kill Patriarch Jian. Patriarch Jian's men did not know what to do and asked if they should follow the 3 masters, but the second man told him not to be a fool. He realized there is someone even stronger in the Hidden Dragon Pavilion. Also, the 3 masters are on their way back there. They might as well just turn themselves in if they follow them, so they fell back. Yoon Tai-lei thought he would sacrifice himself to keep Patriarch Yoon distracted, but he realized he was able to use a horrifying technique to instantly kill the enemy. He's shocked to see that it left no traces of Patriarch Yoon, not even a speck. He wondered how a Patriarch and Heaven tier master from Spectral Valley could fall to just one move. He feels Fan is terrifying. He was lost in thought when Fan called him and told him politely to watch over the Lao family while he goes to find Miss Lei. Yoon Tai-lei promised to protect them. Fan thinks it has been a while since they saw any other enemies. He feels with Master Lei around, the Lao family should be safe from harm, but in case anything happens, he takes the Supreme Demon artifact along with him. Yoon Tai-lei followed Ming Yang into the forest and she stopped him. He was happy she's alone. He asked her if she is capable enough to stop him on all of her own. She threatens to kill him. He told her she doesn't have what it takes to kill him, but she said she would die trying. She calmed down and asked him if he ever really loved her. He said he is the foremost disciple of Spectral Valley, so she is not worthy to be his mate. This infuriated her and she attacked him. They both engaged in a battle. He almost killed her when Fan's Bloodborne hit him away. She was surprised to know that it was Fan's Supreme Bloodborne that saved her. She moves closer to Ming Yang in anger. He begged for mercy. He reminds her of the good times they had together and how good he was to her. She said it is because she remembers that it is why she wants to kill him. She was about to kill him when Patriarch Jian appeared. He asked Yang how he ended up over there. He also asked him what happened to the plan, but he was stammering, so he instantly told him to keep shut, that they would talk when they get back. But he needs to keep Yoon Ting-lei's mouth shut. So, Patriarch Jian attacked her. Patriarch Jian is seen swooshing down with a deadly strike in his attempt to kill Yoon Ting. Suddenly, Fan arrives at the scene, countering the attack and replying with a taunt of how the patriarchs of Spectral Valley were often associated with bullying. Brother Jian and Yu Ting faces show that of anger and surprise. Jian's looks even more shocked when he notices Fan had the demonic artifact. and asks about the whereabouts of Patriarch Yoon, the former wielder. Fan replies with a question of his own, Jian, where he thinks the Patriarch would be. Patriarch Jian contemplates within himself, doubting the fact that Fan killed Patriarch Yoon, and decides to retrieve the artifact by killing Fan. Fan realizes this and then communicates telepathically with Yu Ting, giving her an instruction to find the position of the Patriarch's heart and strike it with a thunderous finger spell, assuring her not to worry about anything else. Yu Ting is uncertain if her spell can penetrate the Patriarch, as he had achieved Heaven tier, and she was only at the Chi Force tier. She thinks about Fan also, and how he would take great strides just to get what he wants. On how he saved her only because he wants to use her as bait, but her mindset changed as she realized she was indebted to him as he saved her life. Setting the plan in action, Fan and Yu Ting dash forward. Patriarch Jian, seeing both of them attacking, decides to ignore Yu Ting as Fan was the strongest out of the two. And he also had an advantage as he was wielding the demonic artifact. With Fan sending a strike of his own, Jian detects demonic energy and realizes Fan was responsible for his lost arm, and threatens to tear him into pieces after expelling his fiend. This was the little time needed as Yu Ting sends out her own spell, resulting in a fatal injury leading to his death. Before his death, Fan explains how he was tricked into believing he was the main aggressor, therefore leaving him open to an attack, and as he was formerly injured, it led to his death immediately. Tired, Fan sits on the floor and thinks about how he risked all for just to kill his enemy, and how any mistake could have led to his death, and is happy that his plans worked out. Yu Ting comes to him and apologizes and discovers that he even risked his Bloodborne just to save her life.